Got an email about 2-3 days ago. It's a fantastic email, and I got it right here. Let me read it for you guys. Hey, what's up, TJ? How's it going? My name is Zach, born and raised in Houston, Texas. I'm about 185 pounds, and I've been really trying to get to the 200-pound mark. Aren't we all? My lifting buddies keep telling me that if I want to get big, I have to eat big. But I tell them that I don't want to get fat. Their response to me is that I should get as big / as fat as I possibly can because eventually that fat will turn into muscle. Is this at all true, or are they just hitting me with a bunch of bro science? I like that. I would really appreciate a response because I really do look up to you and I respect your opinion. Thank you from your fan and your friend, Zach. Zach, my man. Really, really good question, man. I think a lot of us, especially the fellas, can relate to you because we all want to get larger for the most part. We want to add nice quality lean mass to our frames. And everyone that we talk to and everywhere we look, it's saying eat big, get big. Eat big, get big. And there's some truth behind it. But what there isn't truth behind is the fact that you cannot turn fat into muscle. It doesn't work like that. They are two completely separate beasts, two different elements, okay? Another thing you mentioned was you want to go from 185 pounds to 200 pounds. Now, Zach, I'm not calling you out, but let's think about that. What's the benefit of going 15 pounds larger? What is the benefit there? Because when I first started lifting, I made a rookie mistake of wanting to hit that target weight. I was 150 pounds when I first started. And I wanted to hit, originally I wanted to hit 165 and I hit that like that. But then I saw how fast I put on size and weight. So I really expanded my goal. And I wanted to hit 195. And in 3.5 months, I went from 150 to 192. Okay, 192 pounds from 150. Tremendous increase in weight. 40 plus pounds in nearly 4 months. That's a lot of weight to put on because all I was focusing on was the numbers on the scale, just looking down every single day, essentially gaining a pound every single day almost. And if imagine what I'm getting at here, guys, is all I'm focusing on is the scale. And I thought I was progressing, and I was super happy because I was adding pounds every single day, getting closer to my end goal of that 195 pound target weight. When I got there, 192 pounds, what did I see? Nothing but fat, I did put on some muscle, but it was a lot of fat. And so I looked massive in shirts, ripping sleeves. I had to change my entire wardrobe, and I felt great because here I am applying effort in the gym. I'm eating a lot of food. Wasn't necessarily the best foods, but I was eating a lot, and I was getting results. I was getting massive. People were complimenting, like, dude, you're getting big, dude, getting swole. And I like that. I like that feeling. But the truth is, I never wanted to take my shirt off. Reason why is, yes, I got bigger, but I didn't look, when the shirt's off, and you're not hiding behind anything. There's no abs, there's no serratus, no intercostals, no definition in the muscle. So I learned that lesson the hard way, but I'm fortunate enough to learn it right away. And so what I'm getting at here, Zach, is you really have to question, why do you want to add those 15 pounds? Is it just a number you picked out of a hat? Is it because some of your buddies are 200 pounds? Is it because some fitness model you inspire to be is 200 pounds? I don't know what the reason is, but hopefully you can clarify as why you want to get to that mark. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get larger, adding some lean muscle mass, but the moment you pick that number out of the air and say, that's my number, it's a very dangerous target because you focus on the wrong thing, which is the scale, rather than looking in the mirror and seeing, what can I improve? Maybe my chest's a little small, I'm going to start adding some size there. Rather than saying I'm going to add 3 pounds to my, you guys know what I'm saying. So, Zach, not calling you out, but I just want you to focus in on what your overall goal is. And hopefully it's not just to add those pounds, because a majority of the time it's not going to be clean pounds. But incongruent to what I just said and, contradicting what I just said is muscle or fat does not turn into muscle. And the reason is because they're two different theaters of this arena. And what we need to do, if we're those guys trying to add a lean muscle mass, we need to be able to pick an end date of when we want to be in the absolute best shape of our life. And when we pick that date, let's say 8 months from now, okay, we need to segment those 8 months. For the sake of this example, we'll split it in half. One half of that, or 4 months, is going to be towards bulking. That's phase number 1. Phase number 2 is going to be cutting, which will be the back end, or the last 4 months. Okay, so first 4 months, bulking. Second half, or the next 4 months, is going to be cutting. Okay, this is just a general example. So what we need to do, guys, if we want to gain muscle mass and then get rid of that fat, that excess fat, we need to be able to create these separate phases. Eventually, when you guys get to the physique that you want, it's in your eyes perfect. You don't want to add any more muscle mass. You don't want to get any more cut. You're extremely happy with where you are. That's called a maintenance phase. Very few people get there because once you enter this game or this hobby and this passion, you always want to improve, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in your case, Zach, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bulk for X amount of time, 4 months. And then you're going to get cut for 4 months, or whatever it may be, whatever that time duration of that time allowance is. So understanding that as we bulk, we need a surplus of calories. So if our maintenance calories are 2,500, then we need to bump it up 500 calories, and we'll be at 3,000 calories for X amount of time, and we continually add 500 once our body plateaus, continuously adding size. And yes, there's going to be some residual fat on our frame, but it can't be a crazy excess of fat. You can't go from single-digit body fat to 15%. That's too much. That's way too much overage. Once you get over, 10, 11, 12% body fat, you're done. Your bulk phase has to be completely shut off, because you're getting into a very dangerous environment where it's going to be very, very difficult for you to come back down to a very lean, aesthetic look. So don't overdo your bulking phase. It has to be extremely controlled and disciplined. Don't make the mistake I did the very first time I hit my bulking phase, where I said internally, I'm going to eat big and I'm going to get big. That's exactly what I did, but I got extremely fat. What you need to do is, yes, eat big, but eat the right things. Clean foods, bodybuilder foods, rice, oatmeal, potatoes, turkey, chicken, some beef. Adding all these elements in there rather than pizza and burgers and tacos and all these things. Yes, they're high in calories, but generally speaking, that's crappy food. And as you've all heard, you are what you eat. So do not use that as an excuse to eat whatever you want. I'm bulking, bro. I'm going to eat whatever I want. No, it doesn't work like that. You're going to regret it. Okay, so you do your bulking phase where you're in a surplus of calories, 500 over your maintenance phase. If you guys are already lost and confused, I've done a video blog that talks about these numbers, how I find these numbers, and how to find them specifically for you, so search for that video. But on to the next phase. Phase 2 is going to be the cutting phase, where we bulked up and we're 10, 11, 12, 13% body fat. Now it's time to come down and get into the single-digit body fats, and we do that by being in a caloric deficit. 500 calories from what we were originally. So if we were at 3,200, we're going to drop down 500 calories, okay? Once we start to plateau and our body's no longer responding to that decrease, then we lower it again. Then we start to add in HIIT cardio. These are some general principles to help us bulk and then cut. And the reason why we bulk and then cut is because when we're bulking, guys, yes, we are adding a little bit of fat, but we're also creating an environment for the body to add more lean muscle mass. So that excess in calories is going to help promote muscle. And so let's say we add, I'm just throwing numbers out here, guys, but let's say we add 10 pounds. Maybe 7 pounds of the 10 is muscle, 3 pounds is fat. That's good. That's really good. As we cut, what happens is our goal is to lose those 3 pounds of fat, right? What happens is if you do it slowly enough and steadily enough, and you do it the right way, what happens is you do lose those 3 pounds of fat, and you maintain that 7 pounds of muscle. So now we gain 7 pounds of pure muscle. That's a very good bulk cutting phase. That's how it's done. That's how you transform and continually progress. But if you do what a lot of people do and they bulk extremely quickly, start slamming 4,000 calories for 1 month, they add 20 pounds, and then they try and cut, what happens is that they added more fat than they did muscle, first of all. And secondly, if they try and cut too fast, they realize, damn, I'm really out of shape. Summer's 2 months away. I don't have enough time. I'm going to start to binge. I'm going to start to do all this cardio and try and cheat the system by going extremely fast. What happens, guys, is you not only lose some fat, but you also lose any muscle that you gain. So instead of maybe the 10 pounds overall gain, 7 of those pounds is muscle and 3 fat, maybe now it's more like 4 pounds of muscle gained, 6 pounds of fat, and then when you go to cut, you're really losing those 6 pounds of fat plus 2 pounds of muscle because you went too fast. As you cut, we want to maintain our muscle mass, but because you went too quickly, you compromise that muscle, so you really only gain 2 pounds of muscle, which, it's a gain, so it's a positive result, but I think you guys get what I'm saying here. It's all about steady progression, not doing anything too drastic, and nothing too severe that the body can't handle all at once. It's all about steady progression, steady bulk, steady cut, and you're gonna get great results there. What am I missing? I think I hit everything. Let me take a look at your email again, make sure I address everything. So I want to make it very clear to you, Zach, and everyone else that has this ideology that you can turn fat into muscle. Let me say it very clearly to you. You can't, okay? It doesn't work like that. They're two different energy sources, okay? They don't work synonymously. That's a word I can't say, I guess. They don't work congruently, okay? They don't work parallel. They don't work together in pairs. They're completely separate elements. So don't think that excess fat is going to turn to muscle, because it's not. But yes, you do need a caloric surplus to add lean muscle mass. And when you cut down and you get to that frame that's nice and cut, shredded, aesthetic, then you can maintain, okay? So let me give you an example of what I do for the year, and this might be different for you. But what I do, guys, is throughout the winter months, typically through fall and winter, I'm bulking, in control, discipline, adding a slow, steady surplus of calories to my current regimen, gaining size and weight and overall muscle and fat, but it's not out of control. As the winter starts to wane or end, what happens is I begin to cut. And so through the spring, I'm cutting. By the time spring hits, I'm cut. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for anything. Shoots, competitions, going out on the boat, whatever. I'm ready. I'm in shape. And then I maintain that throughout, pretty much, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So, 8 months of the year, I'm in that shredded state, or that very low single-digit body fat state, that figure. That's my maintenance phase. I'm just maintaining that lean body. And then when October, November, December, January, February hits, I'm bulking. And then, March, April, I'm cutting. And then I'm shredded, and maintaining. So that's how I do it throughout the year, guys. You can break your year up however you want, whatever your goals are. I live in Minnesota. It's nothing but snow and cold, and everyone sits inside in the winter, so I have no pressure to take my shirt off. I have no one to impress. It's a time for me not to get lazy, not to be lethargic and sit on the couch and watch movies all day, but it's a time for me to progress myself in a disciplined manner by adding calories. And it's very hard to control that. It's extremely hard, because when you turn the switch in your head, going from very, very lean to saying, it's time to get a little bigger, it is so hard emotionally and psychologically to say, okay, I'm going to start to add a little more calories. It's very hard to add just a little. You just want to add a lot. We all do. We all do. When you hit that switch in your head and say, I'm going to bulk, it's extremely hard to control that. Control the calories coming in. But if you can do that, guys, if you can have that discipline, it's going to pay dividends that you've never imagined. So, Zach, I hope this helps, buddy. Really great question. I appreciate you being a member. Everyone else, I also appreciate you guys being members. Please do not hesitate to send me emails. If I don't get to it right away, just slam my inbox. Please, please, please don't hesitate to send multiple emails. I want to address these questions, these myths, debunk all of these ideologies that are false, and just give you guys information. That's what I'm here for. That's all I want to do is give you guys information, help empower you guys so you can transform your body. So please don't hesitate to ask me these questions. Zach, awesome question, dude. 200 pounds, maybe that's going to be your best physique. I don't know. If it is, go for it, buddy. If not, rethink why you want to hit that number. Regardless of that number, I know you're going to look great, man. Till next time, I'm out, guys. God bless.